Hey, JSB here, and today it's all about Toto. I'm back with another deep dive into the biggest songs of legendary bands, and, well, according to Spotify streaming numbers at least. Today we're asking Toto's best songs are their biggest, right? And we're answering almost certainly not. So long before Spotify was even a thing, Toto's top three songs were basically carved in stone. Africa, Hold the Line, Rosanna, no question. Unlike some bands whose top tracks have shifted over the decades, I don't think that has changed in the 21st century, and there's no reason it should. Those are three stone-cold classics. But as for what comes after those three, well, that's where it could get interesting or infuriating. There are a lot of potential also-rans jostling for position in their top 10, and also plenty of far better deep cuts that probably don't even get a look in. We'll soon see. Let's head to Spotify and find out exactly what things look like in 2025. Okay, first things first. How many people are actually streaming Toto each month in 2025? Remember, Chicago had 12 million, Genesis only 8 million, and the Eagles 24 million. So place your bets and do it fast because it is 26 million. Yeah, does that shock you? They outflanked the Eagles. Let me know if you think this is rigged. It isn't. And yeah, I've been saying the Eagles, whereas on the Eagles episode, I was very careful to only say Eagles, but sod them. Toto are bigger than them, and I don't care. Anyway, if that's a surprise, the number one stream Toto song isn't. You've already seen it below. But without that, you knew it, I knew it, the rains down in Africa knew it. It is, of course, Africa. But what is the streaming numbers on it? 2.3 billion. Yeah, that's enough. Um, wow. How far ahead of the rest of the top five do you think that's going to be? And was I right about what the next two in that top five would be? Let us delve further down. And yes, indeed, Hold the Line is number two. And it's in the billion play club as well, 1.191 million. So basically 1.2 billion. Rosanna, respectable third place, 429, or almost 430 million. So giving up for half a billion. It will be there before another few years is out. I suspect we're going to see a big drop in numbers as we go down to 4 and 5, but we shall find out. Okay, I'll Be Over You, 271 million. Had to think about that, which is slightly a surprise because you would think that I Won't Hold You Back would be the next one in there being their other top 10 single, at least in the US. And then we've got Georgie Porgy, which wasn't really a big hit, at least stateside to begin with, only reached number 48. But it's one of those songs that has been embraced by the yacht rock crowd, and we might bitch and moan a little bit more about that term as we go further into the list. Okay, on that note, Africa has indeed seen the band affixed with the yacht rock label, but true fans and the band themselves, based on their set lists, know that they are far more than that and rock some serious ass a lot of the time. But as we get into the rest of the top 10, here is where I fear we are going to be headed, as we did with Chicago's 80s ballads, find Softy Central and not a lot else. But let's have a look and find out for sure. Place your bets now. Well, there's I Won't Hold You Back. While it's quite a gap between that and I'll Be Over You, they've always kind of sat in the same ballpark for me. But it's fairly far behind on the total numbers. And this is the thing where Spotify changes its ranking slightly, but the overall streams can vary. So that's at number 6 at the moment. Number 7 is Stop Loving You, that actually has more streams overall. Now, that is a song that people in the English-speaking world don't really know, but is one of their biggest hits internationally. So I'm not surprised at all to find that in there. And that's another one, like their top 3 classics, that should definitely be there, and fine, no issues whatsoever. Fronted by my namesake, Joseph Williams, of course. Another Joseph Williams track here is a much bigger surprise, Leah. That's, again, it's a ballad, but it's kind of a deep cut. It's a Steeple Caro pen tune from the first album with Joseph Williams, which was Fahrenheit in 1986. Stop Loving You was from the seventh one 2 years later, as is Pamela. I'm going to guess this is. Yep. The last top 40 hit in the States for the band. And then another kind of surprise, but another ballad, I Will Remember from Tamboo, way back, or rather way forward, to 1995. Quite possibly the best ballad they ever did, but it was their fifth highest charting single in the UK ever, which is not saying much. We're talking a number 64 peak for that, but it was, again, like Stop Loving You and Pamela, a bigger hit throughout Europe, although not a massive one even then. The album did well. All right. Yeah, so as I feared, it's pretty softy central there. You know, Stop Loving You and Pamela, the best examples of Toto in the rest of that list because they're pop rocky. And I Will Remember, as I say, is a fine ballad, as is Leah. They do ballads and they do them supremely well, but there's these people who think that that's all they do and that Hold the Line is the only song they ever did that rocked. And to those people, I say, do me a favour. No, because true Toto fans, like me, know the truth that they rock more often than they don't. So if you don't believe me, go and listen to a track called White Sister. They still play it live to this day. It doesn't matter what version you go for, if you go for the studio version from 1979 or any live version from the past 40 years. Just go and have a listen. Then come back here and tell me that Toto don't rock. You won't because you can't, because it does and they do. So there. And now I'll take a deep breath because I've worked myself up into a wee thing. But yeah, Toto rock. They've got a load of deep cuts that you should be listening to beyond this list if you've got beyond the top three. Not just White Sister, English Eyes, Girl Goodbye, Home of the Brave, the most popular song with Toto fans of them all. Anything from the Isolation album, in fact, everything from the Isolation album. Yes, it's got a terrible album cover, but it rocks from start to finish and is magnificent. But there's no bad Toto tunes, even if you only listen to ballads all day long. They're the best ballads you're going to hear, pretty much. So if that's your cup of tea, then they'll serve you well there as well. But yeah, they mostly rock, and that's what you should mostly be listening to, I swear. All righty then. Well, I wasn't really surprised, even if I was slightly disappointed by what I found in Toto's top 10 Spotify songs list. But yeah, this has been another episode of JSB Check Spotify so that you don't have to. The next band up in the series will be, well, I don't know, but I'm open to suggestions. So drop some choices down in the comments below for me to pick from, and I'll do one of them. And of course, you can smash that like button while you're in that area. Thanks. So if you hadn't guessed by now, I am a Toto-aholic, and there's loads more Toto content up on the channel already, a handy playlist of which should magically be appearing about now, somewhere around my head. So go and check that out, and I will just say thank you for watching today, and bye for now, but not for long.
It's the end, but the moment has been prepared for.